Well, hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Harebrained Games. Today we're going to do a little review of a tiny game. It is called For Northwood, a solo trick-taking game. It is Solo by Will Sue. It's one player, 20 minutes, age 12. What's the point? Well, let's just show you. Okay, let's take a look at what comes in For Northwood in this tiny box, as you can see. Very sturdy. Yes. And impressively sturdy, in fact. You get 24 character cards, and these are cards that you're going to vie to win over through expertise in negotiation, so to speak. You're going to have slot cards. Each of these kingdoms has a kind of a different card with a different number on it, 0 to 7. You've got the whichever card for whichever kingdom you're going to be negotiating with at any given time, with a here's if you get 20 points, 18 stars, whatever, you're going to get, everyone knows you're going to want to get the 20-point one. And then you have a set of jacks, and these are your initial default helpers that are going to help you as you negotiate. Everyone knows that negotiations will be short when you have a skunk vying for you. Drop the bomb. Okay, and then you finally have what is called dialogue cards. Now, they don't look like dialogue, they look like numbers, and in fact they are. It's numeric dialogue. It's sort of like interpretive dancing, but for digits. You have 4 suits. They're not your normal suits, they're different. There's eyes and flowers and yellow spades and claws. So let me claws for a moment. Alright, and that's what we have. So let's get into an example of play. Oh, also, you get a teeny tiny manual for Northwood. And you have lots and lots of teeny tiny words. Those with poor eyesight, definitely use your magnifying glass from, that comes in every game, like dice. And then if you have the noisier, which is a set of scenarios that change up the basic game rules. So once you get familiar with this, you're going to have some fun little journeys to go through to try to win over the kingdom in different noisy ways. All right, let's get into an example of play. Okay, so the object in For Northwood is to win. You win by scoring the highest number of points that you can by negotiating with and winning over the 8 kingdoms you see here. If you get all the kingdoms, you get the gold cup. Otherwise, you get the silver, then you get the black cup, etc. If you get anything less than that, well, you haven't won the kingdoms over, then it's not For Northwood. It's forlorn. Anyway, so how do you do it? Well, here's how it goes. Each of these needs to be won over, and you win them over by completing an exact identical amount of tricks. This game is a trick-taking game. Then its concepts will be familiar to anyone who's played a trick-taking game, except for the fact that you play with no one else. So, for example, I need to win 5 tricks in order to have the King of Leaves join me in holy wedded geographical bliss. And so what I'm going to do is I'm not worrying about the special abilities. I'm just worried about the king, the queen, the king, the queen, the queen, the queen, etc. And then their suits. Those are become important. So let's say, for example, these are the dialogue cards, and you're going to take 8 of those to form a starting hand. For each of these kingdoms that you're trying to win over, you're going to iterate this same process, except you're going to choose a different kingdom. You get to see what's in your hand before you choose which fief is what they call them. Well, I play it in the day because I don't want to have a fief in the night. And then you have a choice of which of these to try and go after based on your card hand and what you feel like is going to be a plausible opportunity. And then you also have 4 helpers. These 4 helpers, these jacks, can be used, but you cannot use that. You preemptively use them before you draw a dialogue card. You can use them during any attempt to win over a kingdom, and so you play one. Any of these 4 can be used on a fief here. Then again, you flip them up and say, okay, now I want to try to get this kingdom on my side, fief on my side, and so you can use them again. So these are your handy helpers, your allies, your cohorts. But let's take a look at my hand. I have kind of a pretty broad section of suits, like 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. So I don't really have anything that looks like it's a total knockout. Now I can make a choice right now and well, first to choose which fief. I think that with these low numbers and only one high number, I'm going to try for 1. That means that I'm only going to win 1. Now, it's a little harder to win 1 suit than it is, say, 3 or 4 or 0 and 7, the ones at the extremes. Like winning 7 tricks, that means 7 of the 8 cards you play in your hand, you have to win. Whereas 0 is like you got to clear out your hand, and there's no room for error in the negotiation of the Northwoods in the forests of forestiness. So let's start. So what we do is we've chosen this, and now before we begin dialogue, anytime we're going to flip a card, you choose if you want to use one of these. I can discard all the cards that match the current ruler's suit, for example. I'm going to do that. You know why? Because that means that I don't have to worry about the trump, because this is the trump card that's going to be in play if I don't have a matching card for this next dialogue card that I'm going to move out. So I'm going to throw these out. Now we're going to start. Ready? Hey, well, that worked out well. So I have the 7 of yellow spades, which happens to also match the Queen of Leaves, so that's okay. So I would need to find a card here in my hand that matches the spades and play it. If I play a higher number, I win the trick. If it's a lower number, I lose the trick. But I don't have a card that matches this, so now I go, well, what about the trump suit here? Well, they're the same, so it doesn't matter. So I can play any card I want and discard it. And that means I don't win the trick. So the only ways you can win a trick are to have a higher number than this suit or a higher number than the trump suit, and they have to be played. If you have them in your hand, you have to play them. Otherwise, yay! So I'm on my way. I still need to win 1. I got to be careful on that one. So then I'm gonna choose again. 6. Okay. Well, I have a 1 here. Okay, good. So I've got 3 cards left. I need to win 1 trick and lose 2 tricks. What if I look here and go, I need to win 1, but lose 1. You know what? I'm going to use this one. I'm going to draw 2 cards and then discard 2 cards. I'm going to discard these 4s and keep these 2. My hope is that I can win with this one and lose with these 2. Ready? All right. 3. Whoo! That was close. All right. Then again, we're going to do 6. Oh, 2. All right. So do I have any cards here? I can exchange the ruler on the thief, so I can basically swap out rulers up to 2 away if I feel like this is going poorly and I could win with a different one with 3 tricks. So right now I'm in a good spot. This is the crazy one. If I hold fewer than 8 cards, I can draw until I have 8 in hand. In other words, I can sort of refresh my deck or my hand. If I'm like, this is going poorly, I'm just going to give it a big old, go big or go home try. So I've used these 2. Okay, so then we're going to flip this card. It is a 6. Yes. So because this isn't, I don't have a matching card in my hand of this suit, I have a trump card that I have to play. I play it and I win. I win, people. How often does that happen? All right. So I have won this. Yay. What does it mean? Well, I'm just going to put it there right now and say I won it. I won it badly. So now I've won the Queen of Leaves. Yay! Our first fiefdom is gloriously done and happy and all that. So that's 1 down and 7 to go. So what I do is I flip up these cards and I grab 8 cards again. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Ooh. 7. Oh, whoa. 8. Okay, so I've got some choices. These are some higher cards, so I could be able to go, let me show you what it's like to lose. That's an easy one. Let's say that I need to win 4 tricks. Okay, let's give it a whirl. And the trump is this, which I don't have, which means I could try the Queen of... Anyway. All right, so we're going to go. Now, this time we have a different choice. We have the card plan. We've decided which fief we're going to try next. Now we get to decide. You can bring in any of the leaders of fiefs that you have won to your side and overlay them over these to use instead of the basic action. So if I'm like, use the ability of the ruler on the fief you're visiting. Draw the top card of the score pile and face down on top of the deck. I'm like, that could be advantageous here. I don't know. I could place it here, and this is a one-time use. Once you commit to this, you're using it. Even if you don't wind up using it, it still goes away at the end. You still get the points, don't get me wrong, but you got to be careful. So let's do this one. All right, and then we begin again, and we go, okay, Queen of Flowers. Let us go. 1. I need to win 4 tricks. I'm going to win 1 trick. Okay. 2. Okay. I don't have any card in that trump suit, so I'm going to go ahead and discard this to lose. Okay. 5. 7. We won our second trump suit. Okay. Then, now do I want to do anything right now? I need to win 4. I'm fine right now. 3. And I don't have that, so I can get rid of this. I still need to win 2. 5. Don't have that, so we're going to get rid of this. Okay, so now we're getting down to the point where we need to win 5. So I'm going to use this. I'm going to grab 2 cards and discard 2 cards. Well, that didn't help me. All right, ready? 4. Dang it. Okay, I don't have... And then... Oh, man. So I'm not seeing possibilities here. So I am going to... Let's see. Flip this. Yes, I won. Okay, so now I have a choice. I'm on the last trick again. What do I want to do? I could move. I could assume I'm losing. Flip this to exchange the fief I'm visiting with a neutral ruler up to 2 fiefs away. I could swap these two and be, but I'm not. I'm going to go big or go home. I need to win this trick. Let this be. Oh wait, the only way for me to win this trick is if this is a yellow, and it's not. Dang it. Okay, so I lost the trick. So let me show you what losing the trick looks like. I've lost the trick, and that's basically it. So I'm probably not going to win the ultimate I did everything perfectly award, but I still have opportunities with the other 6 kingdoms. And that's it. That's the whole essence of play. You're going to, and since I didn't use the Queen of Leaves, she's out of the game, etc. And that's that. And that's really the essence of the game. You're going to play this 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 more times, and then you're going to calculate your score and decide how well you won. That is for Northwood. If you get familiar with it, you can start adding in more. You can take these jacks and they can just get put into the deck naturally, and you can start getting more complicated values of these cards. And again, you have both the basic game and then you have the whole campaign game. Tons of stuff in the box. So that's for Northwood. Let's take a look at my final thoughts. Okay, final thoughts on For Northwood, a trick-taking game for one single person. Let's go over the cons, then the pros, then the final thoughts. The cons are that I don't really have many, really. I don't. This is a game, I guess the only thing I would be remiss if I didn't say that I wish I could enjoy this with someone else. Maybe they'll have a 4-4 Northwood someday or whatever, but it's a game so cool you just kind of want to share it, and a one-player game doesn't usually afford that. So let's get into the cons, the pros. And the big thing is the box is solid. This sucker will last a lifetime, and not only that, but the pieces fit in there perfectly. They don't get squished or smushed, sort of like, you know, Tiny Epic games or some of the other PAX Porphyriana games, and they're trying to just shove everything in a box. Everything fits here gloriously, elegantly, and greatly. The artwork is adorable. I got this in Flamecraft about the same time, based on the fact that I love cutesy art as well as pretty much any other kind of art, but I love, like, there's the cute, whimsical Mother Westman kind of style, whatever. You know, and Flamecraft was beautiful but vacuous. This game is packs a punch 30 times the size of the box of Flamecraft. I just love it. So as far as the gameplay goes, I don't know. I mean, I'm sure I'm with a lot of other people when they would never have imagined what it would take to make a solo trick-taking game. Usually you're hoping that even a 2-player trick-taking game is fun enough, because usually you want 3 or 4 for these games. So to be able to say, here's a solo game that not only works, but works fantastically, where you really feel like you are going up against a challenge, and I mean, because it's about the challenge. How many? It's that pivot point of, like, I think I can win 3 tricks, but I don't want to win more. I don't want to win less. You know, and you got other players, and you're counting on them, or you're anticipating or strategizing how to predict them. Here, the thing about here is that, like, you get that I get to make the choice, and everything is a lot. It's an informed choice with the risk you can take as a result of being able to make choices based on that information. By that I mean, you don't have to go, okay, well, pick someone to go with, then draw cards, then hope for the best. No, you get to see your cards, you get to make a choice on which of these 8 kings and queens you want to influence, and then you get to go, okay, I think I'm going to make a gut hunch that I'm going to go for this. I'm going to go for it. Okay, I think I can pull it off. That's the choice you make. It's the same kind of stuff you're going to make in a trick-taking game for multiple players. And then you have the extra bonuses, and it really shines with the fact that you've got personality in this trick-taking game in the form of the jacks or the other helpers or all the special abilities you can bring in to try to make it more easy to complete a particular mission. There is the drawback that, for perfectionists, if you lose even one of these, you might just reboot and start over because you're like, I need to win it all, I win nothing. I'm not that much about it. I kind of do wish that there was a redemption circle where, okay, I've lost 6 of the 8 challenge, or no, I've lost 2 of the 8 challenges. I really wish there was a way to kind of loop back and have a second chance or some other like double or nothing kind of thing going on. That might have made it a little easier, but honestly, that's a small, pitiful complaint. And then beyond that, not only you get that, but then you get that whole little mini scenario campaign of sorts, and it brings its own little pizzazz and style to it. Again, fine reading. Make sure and bring your reading glasses because a small game, small print. Yeah, read the fine print and read it well. And so there's nothing bad I can say about this. As far as trick-taking goes, it's one of a kind. It's the best solo trick-taking game I own. But beyond that, it's also one of the better trick-taking games in general, and one of the better just games in general. And so the hype is real for this. I'm very glad to have gotten it. I'm glad to have spent some time to play in it, play with it, play games of it, etc. I want to see more. Matter of fact, this whole style has got my mind gearing. I can think of 2 or 3 different sort of premises and themes and whatever for this kind of approach to solo taking game that I can see, and my gears are turning for just how cool of a little system it is. So if you get a chance to snag a copy, I highly recommend you do. Thanks again, and we'll see you next time on Harebrained Games.